Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Burns Views. My name is John, and today, out of nowhere, they just decided they're gonna drop the 28 years trailer at like 2 in the morning. And you know what? I was up writing a script, so I was like, you know what? Let's jump into this because I'm intrigued. I was a giant fan of the original 28 Days Later. I really want this to be good. So let's waste no time. Oh, by the way, this is more of a breakdown. So for those of you going, hey, why are you like breaking down the trailer and not making that Home Alone face and doing that performative bullshit that other people do? That's not my thing. If you want that, you know where to find that. Just click away, it's fine. I never tell people to click away, but if you're gonna comment saying things like, oh, you should just react to the entire trailer, and then like, just make silly faces, because that's what I want. Yeah. So let's get into it. Be sure to like and subscribe. We've got plenty of videos here on the channel. Mostly Terrifier. So you know what, that was a good little trailer. So I'm gonna go into some things that I liked, some things I didn't like, and these are 10 things that you probably missed in 28 days later. 28 years later, sorry. So right off the bat, Cillian Murphy coming back as a zombie. Looks like he's being pulled up like a goddamn scarecrow. For those of you that don't remember, because I didn't remember, I thought, did he die in the first one? Because there's two versions of the original movie. There's one, the original theatrical one, he does survive, he's with the girl and the kid or some crap like that. He's got the flags and he's doing the SOS. I'm like, that's right, he did do that. But there is an alternate where he doesn't live, and I think he sacrifices himself for the other characters, and it's kind of like I Am Legend, which is like a similar zombie story where it's just like, oh yeah, there's two versions and I can't seem to remember which one is the canon one. But he is alive, we haven't seen him since, he's not really mentioned in part 2, and now that we're in the third one, he looks undead. Now, I realize that they said something that the zombies would evolve in 28 years. They're not the same kind of zombies, so it's possible that Cillian, Jim, his character, might be a leader, a villain, an anti-hero. I don't know. I mean, it's possible that's not him. It's possible this is a dream. Anything's possible. But it would be really cool to see him be like a Walking Dead alien villain who can talk a little bit. You know, you put a little bit of that Planet of the Apes kind of style on it. It could be a fun little sci-fi little adventure, right? I also read somewhere that he's going to have a cameo in this one and a bigger part in the next one. That's another fun fact. This is going to be the start of a trilogy. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. It feels like you're putting the cart in front of the horse a little bit. I mean, I wish that this was a little bit more like, hey, let's just see how the first one does. Let's tell a complete story. Let's not do a lot of breadcrumbing like the Marvel movies. Let's just do one complete story like it's Deadpool and Wolverine and take it from there. Are they going to do that? No. We're getting 3 of these movies, so we're going to have 5 in total. We're going for Avatar levels of craziness. Said the guy who loves Terrifier, and there's going to be 5 of those, but at least those feel earned. Well, 3, maybe not so much. No, that's not true, I love 3. So moving on, the song that they use is called Boots by Rudyard Kipling. It was used on POWs during World War II as a form of torture. So clearly we have something going on where there is, you know, we have religious types, we have human sacrifice, we have children probably being sacrificed. Obviously, when times get tough, we have people like Negan and all those Walking Dead type characters. And that should be kind of interesting. Kind of reminds me of The Mist, when they kind of make religion into this evil thing that kind of ruins it for everybody. I gotta be honest, I like Cillian Murphy as a zombie. Because we just watched Quiet Place Part 2 like a couple years ago, not that long ago. And that seems like what the obvious choice of what you would have done with that character in this movie would have been. You bring him back as like the rugged survivor. Years later, he's got this on the run. We've seen that though. So I'm glad they tried something a little bit different. We recently just got a poster, and right off the bat I'm like, what do you mean Cillian Murphy's not top billing? The hell is that about? You said he was in it. And instead, you know, you got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Kick-Ass, who's also on Bullet Train, I think it's his name. Quicksilver. And you know, I'm thinking he's gonna need a win after that Kraven the Hunter movie bomb, so hopefully this is his win. You also got what's her name? Jodie Comer, who was in The Last Duel, the Ridley Scott movie. I liked it, not a lot of people did. She was also in that movie Free Guy. She's just like the +1 love interest eh. And then, you know, you have the recombination, the team up again of Alexander Skarsgård and Danny Boyle. Now, Alexander Skarsgård. Sorry, Alex Garland. You know what? I was watching that bit with Alexander Skarsgård, and he was doing What We Do in the Shadows. He made a cameo as the True Blood character. No, Alex Garland. Thank you. First video I ever did that blew up on this channel was 10 years ago. It was a video about Ex Machina. Ex Machina? Whatever. I love that movie. It's a good movie. It's more relevant now more than ever because it talks about AI. Good cast, good delivery, grim ending. It's a good time. I did a whole breakdown. If you want to check it out and see it really... If you want to see me fuddle with the camera 10 years ago, circa 2014, it's a fun time. So I love that movie. And it really kind of shaped where I took the channel after. But then Alex Garland kind of just kept going downhill for me because he did Annihilation, which was okay. You know, not as good as Ex Machina, but okay. And then he did Devs with Ron Swanson, and that was fine. I say with hesitation. It was fine. I didn't love it. It's one of those shows where like the first couple of episodes pull you in, and as you keep going, you're like, oh, it's gonna get better. It doesn't get better. And the ending is just bad. And then he made a movie called Men. And that was a feminist, men are awful, and you can't say anything, because how dare you say anything about men being awful and fighting against that. You just have to accept that. No, bullshit. Alex Garland wrote a movie, a feminist movie, from his point of view, which is interesting. Straight white guy. Okay, sure. About his point of view of how terrible men are. And there's some body horror in there, which is kind of creepy. I think everyone knows that scene of, like, the man who gives birth. But basically, it just depicts, like, the one character, Rory... Not Rory Culkin. Can't remember his name. But he plays, like, 8 different man characters, like, you know, different faces. And they're all just awful to this woman. This movie sucks. I was so let down, because I really was going in there on the backbone of, like, Alex Garland from Ex Machina. It's an A24 movie. And then I get in there and I'm like, fuck you, movie. This is shit. I did a whole video on it if you want to hear me talk about it. I think I was a little bit more generous with my initial reaction to it, trying to believe it was better, and just it didn't sink in how bad it really was. And then he did Civil War, which was the, not the Marvel movie, the political what-have-you movie that came out a couple years ago. There was one where they used the AI CGI posters, and nobody liked it with the swans and the buildings and all that. And I've only seen chunks of that movie. I've jumped around on that movie because I heard so many divisive, not great things about that movie. The ending was kind of dumb. And I couldn't get into it. I tried to watch it from the beginning, I was like, eh. I skipped ahead to the middle, eh. I skipped ahead to the end. That was dumb. And I was just like, I don't love this movie. I don't know, but I know it's very divisive. People tend to love it or hate it. Or they're kind of meh about it, I guess, too. And then you have Danny Boyle coming back. Danny Boyle, who did Trainspotting. Great movie. Trainspotting 2. Great trailer. Not a great movie. So it does feel like these characters, not these characters, but these two guys are going back to the well, as it were. Kevin Smithing, as I like to call it. They're going back to what works. They're going back to the IP that you recognize that made them money back in the day, with a little bit of hope that this could be the thing that turned... They need a win. They need a win. It seems like everyone, with the exception of Cillian Murphy, who probably just has a glorified cameo, needs a win for this movie. Alex Garland, Aaron Taylor Johnson will probably need a win after the Craven movie. Danny Boyle, I think he's made some other stuff. I think I like Danny Boyle, I think. Here are some of his movies. I think they're kind of hit or miss. I can't remember right now. And yeah, like I said, you know, this is the start of a trilogy, guys, so... I don't know, like, do we really need 5 of these movies? I mean, I'll admit, it looks stunning. It looks fucking great. I love the giant tower of skulls. It really gives me a Midsommar kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me of, what's that one movie with Kevin Bacon and, Ethan Hawke? Leave the World Behind? It was kind of cool, though. I like some of the visuals. The guy, Sam Esmail did it. Kind of gives me a vibe of that. Kind of gives me a vibe of a lot of these different kind of movies. But here's the deal. Requels or legacy sequels, they don't work. At best, they're kind of, You know, Beetlejuice, Scream 5 and 6, Evil Dead Rise, I thought that was pretty good, but in retrospect, looking back, compared to the originals, and that's always something that kind of hurts it, looking back to the originals, You know, those Ghostbuster movies that came out were fucking atrocious. Especially the Frozen one. So, you know, when you know, I don't know, Quiet Place Day 1. It was fine. I know some people love that movie. I think it's fine. It's not great. I know they're making that Will Smith movie, I Am Legend 2. So, you know, and it does feel like off the backbone of The Last of Us, right? It's like The Walking Dead kind of inspired The Last of Us. The Last of Us became popular, and then that kind of inspired this, and around we go. Last of Us was pretty great. I'm sure they're going to mess it up with part 2, because, well, if you know, you know. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm very, hesitant on this one. It comes out on June 20th, this summer. And I'll say this. I'm gonna see it. I think it looks like it could be great, and if you're going to enjoy it, it's probably best to enjoy it on like an IMAX or a big screen, but knowing me, I'll probably watch it that one time and never watch it again. And who knows if I'll keep watching the sequels. I mean, more than likely, the PR firms that send out the press releases are going to send me an invite to a movie to go see this, an early press screening. I'll go, and I want to believe it's good. It's just solely based on the track record of these creators and the track record of recent movies that are legacy sequels that make me give pause and go, it's probably gonna be meh. Because, you know, I like originality. I like things that are new and fresh. And it's hard to watch this and not compare these to the original. But I will say this is a beautiful looking teaser trailer. I'm excited to see what they do with zombie Cillian Murphy. I like the music, it's very tense. The scenery is fantastic. The cinematography looks great. They shot this on an iPhone 15 Max Pro. Granted, they put like some additional, you know, doohickeys on there. But that's still pretty impressive. But I don't know, I really do hope it's good. But comment down below, let me know what you thought. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. We have a ton of Terrifier videos right here. Check those out, ring that bell. Thank you for subscribing. Comment down below, and we will talk to you next time.